Fields of Mistria is an upcoming title described as a spiritual successor to the farm sim RPGs of the late 90s. But it might be tough to focus on growing crops when there are so many gorgeous, romanceable characters to meet. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Sunstone, and today we have a brand new episode of Thinking Out Loud, the show where I explore a variety of interesting and exciting gaming topics and share my honest thoughts with you all. Today's hot topic is romance in Fields of Mistria, because I'll be introducing you to all of the game's marriage candidates. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. First up, let's go over what we know so far about the romance mechanics themselves in Fields of Mistria. Overall, there are 12 total characters that can be romanced, 10 of which have been revealed. As you play, you'll get to know the villagers' dynamic daily routines that will change based on seasons, weather, and special events. Villagers will also have unique seasonal outfits, with special beach outfits for the romanceable characters specifically. Plus, the characters actually have a variety of beautiful and expressive animated portraits that make interactions just that much more charming. I absolutely love the touch of these animated portraits. It definitely made the characters feel even more alive from my experience with playing the demo. Also, it's been confirmed that marriage candidates are not locked by gender, so you can choose to marry any of the eligible candidates regardless of how you identify. Based on what we know so far, the romance mechanics will work similarly to what we're accustomed to, where as you grow closer to the characters, you will gain hearts with them. As for the game's early access launch, coming soon on August 5th, we will be able to gain up to 4 hearts maximum with the marriage candidates by chatting with them and giving them gifts. However, there may be other ways to gain favor with the characters that have yet to be revealed, like maybe completing quests for example, so we'll have to stay tuned on that to learn more. As you become closer with the dateable characters in early access, you'll be able to unlock each of their unique 2 and 4 heart events, which are cutscenes that you'll activate where you'll get to learn more about the character and their story. Additional heart level progression and events will be added for up to 10 hearts via planned updates in the future. So to reiterate, we'll be able to gain up to 4 hearts with each of the characters in early access at launch, but as the game gets updates, ultimately you will be able to go up to 10 hearts. So now that we've covered the basics of romance, let's meet the dateable characters. First up, we have Celine, who is very much the face of this game. Celine lives just north of the player's farm in a charming cottage and can often be spotted tending to her very lovely and modest garden. Sweet and friendly in personality, Celine loves nature and studying plants, and her family owns a general store in town where she works part-time. As you can imagine, she really likes flowers, with her favorites being snowdrop anemones and Middlemas. Celine seems like a total sweetheart to me and is definitely someone I would love to be best friends with, if not more. Next up, we have Juniper, who is a mysterious and enchanting sorceress. She is initially drawn to Mistria when she learns that magical myths and monsters of legend have begun appearing in the area after the recent earthquake. Once she moves in, Juniper starts up a bathhouse, which is largely a cover for testing her potions and spells on the player and other unsuspecting townsfolk, which may result in buffs, but also occasionally funny accidents. If you're trying to win over Juniper, she will love a mushroom brew, and it would also be wise to get to know her adorable familiar named Dozy. Despite Juniper being a little bit spicy in personality, between the gorgeous aesthetics of her bathhouse, the cutest little Dozy, and her mysterious aura, I'm definitely drawn to learn more about Juniper, and she is surprisingly one of my top picks, if not my top pick, for romance in Fields of Mistria. Next up, we have a character who is much warmer in personality, and that is Reina, who works at the Sleeping Dragon Inn, run by her family. This inn is a cozy and welcoming space where everyone in town comes together specifically on Fridays for an evening of fun, and Reina spends most of her days cooking here, but also enjoys reading in front of the fireplace on rainy days during her downtime. She has a very bubbly and caring personality, which shines in the relationship that she has with her 2 younger siblings. It definitely seems like she's a family girl, and if you're looking to win her heart, she would love to be treated to a meal that includes seafood dishes like sushi or breaded catfish. Next, we have Valen, who works in Mistria's clinic, which has been owned by her family for generations. She is very dedicated to the well-being of her fellow villagers, and as such is always researching new medical preparations. Her personality is serious, but with a dry wit. She loves rainy days and murder mysteries. But apparently, this small-town doctor has a big-time secret. So will you uncover it? This sounds super interesting, and I'm so curious to know more. If you're looking to charm Valen, you'd be wise to gift her something that is good for her health, like a summer salad. Next is March, who is the village's award-winning blacksmith, who inherited the forge and his skills from a long family line of master craftspeople. However, he has a bit of a chip on his shoulder, to say the least, and he'll definitely be quite curt with you at first. He's also a bit vain and grumpy, but his heart is not impenetrable. If you'd like a chance to see his sweeter side, you should gift him a sushi platter, but steer clear of offering him berries. He is not a fan. I can't tell if March is going to be my next nemesis, or if we're going to have an enemies to friends moment. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Next, we have Adeline, whose parents were called away to the capital after the destructive earthquake ravaged the town of Mistria. Her and her brother Island are left to manage what remains of the town, and now Adeline has made it her life's goal to restore everything to its former glory. She's actually the one who initially invites you to come to Mistria, and she's overjoyed to see you when you arrive. She's hardworking, organized, and optimistic, although she tends to overdo it sometimes. With her plans within plans, she'll always have something new for you to do, so you'll never be bored with her around. Now, don't make the mistake of giving Adeline anything mushroom related, but she would love a nice cup of coffee or a lemon pie instead. So next we'll talk about Island, Adeline's brother, who really enjoys archaeology. Like, really enjoys it. He's the head of the Historical Society in Mistria and believes that connecting with Mistria's past is the key to its future. Island seems to be very well-mannered, polite, and intellectual, so if he seems like your type so far and you're interested in winning his heart, I would suggest gifting him some strawberry shortcake, which is his favorite dessert. Then we have Rias, the local woodworker, who runs the carpenter shop with his uncle. As such, he can help you improve your home and with creating some nice furniture. And he really loves what he does. He views every project as a puzzle to take on and truly values the process of his craft, not just the end result. Outside of his profession, we honestly don't know too much about him yet, but he does seem like a very warm-hearted and down-to-earth character, so once we get into the game, we'll be able to see for certain if that's true and get to learn more. Then we have Hayden, who lives and works on Sweetwater Farm, the local ranch which is located just west of the player's farm, so you'll essentially be neighbors. Known to have a bold and friendly personality, Hayden loves the animals he raises, especially his prized chicken, Henrietta. You can visit Hayden to purchase your own ranch animals, along with extra toys and accessories for them, and there's nothing Hayden loves more than a hard day's work on his beloved farm, followed by a visit to the local inn for a big meal and game of cards. It seems that Hayden heavily dislikes fish in the form of food and sees them rather as friends. But if you want to win his heart, consider gifting him a vegetable quiche instead. I have to say, with my experience playing the demo, I am definitely slightly charmed by Hayden, so this is another one of my personal top picks. Finally, we have Balor, the traveling merchant. You'll regularly find him staying at the Sleeping Dragon Inn and selling his wares at the market. He always has a smile on his face and a great deal ready for customers. But something seems suspicious about his low prices. So are you ready to uncover his secrets? This is another one of the characters that seems extra mysterious. So those are all the characters who we've been introduced to, but there are also two special mystery characters. So far we've only seen their silhouettes, but I'm so curious about who these will be. I need to know more. Overall, like I said, I think my top picks right now, for romance specifically, are Juniper and Hayden. At the same time, when I actually get into the game, I think my decision is going to become much more difficult when I get to know them all. I'm also interested in Reina, Adeline, Celine. Okay, I'm gonna end up listing all of them, aren't I? I mean, regardless of who I settle on, this was a nice introduction to the romanceables in Fields of Mistria, and I shared some of my thoughts on the characters, but what do you think? In a recent poll, I asked whether any of you already have your eye on someone from the cast of characters in terms of romance for Fields of Mistria. And 56% of you said that you need to learn more about them. And it's true, we really don't know a ton about these characters. Even if you've played the demo, you still had a limited time to get to know them. And just based on the biographies we have access to, we're really just getting a surface level look at all of these characters and what their personalities and backstories will truly be like. Now, 18% of you said that you're waiting for the mystery NPCs, which honestly, in a sense, I am too, because I feel like I need to see those last two characters for romance to be 100% certain on who I'll want to marry. 15% of you said you have your top pick, and if you voted for this option, I'm curious to know who it is. Again, I think my top pick right now is Juniper, which is kind of interesting to me because she's not really the personality I would typically go for. I don't usually find myself going for characters who have that colder exterior. I usually prefer a warmer personality, but I think I'm just so intrigued by whatever Juniper has going on with the bathhouse and the potions and the familiar. I don't know, I'm intrigued. So maybe I'm confusing intrigue with romance at this point, but that's where my sights are set to start. When I get into the game, we'll see what happens from there. And only 11% of you said that you can't make up your mind, which really surprised me because, to be honest, I thought this would be the winning option. I thought since there's just so many great characters, a lot of you would be unable to decide on who would be your top pick, but I think that kind of rings true with the winning option, which was needing to learn more about them. The two answers can technically go hand in hand, so even though I'm surprised by the results, it fully makes sense to me. Well, there you have it, friends. That was a brief overview of the romance mechanics in Fields of Mistria, along with a little introduction to all of the dateable characters. Let me know down in the comments which of the characters is your top pick, or if you can't decide between a few, definitely share that as well. Let me know your thoughts on these intriguing mystery dateables. Anything and everything, you know I always love hearing from you. Please go ahead and shine the lovely like button if you're super excited for Fields of Mistria's early access launch on August 5th. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I love you all. And until next time, take care.